Okay, thanks for meeting with me today, Michael. We're going to run through the brief that you've provided me with, and also I'm going to give you some guidance in relation to copyright issues relevant to the brief. So we'll just start off with giving a summary of the brief that you've provided me with. So you have a healthy sports drink that you require some material to be developed for, including advertising, artwork, bottle design, labelling and a logo. You've indicated ultimately your inspiration is your biggest competitor in the market, which is Gatorade, and you'd require some similar material in terms of look, image and colour palette, but you want to develop on that by creating something that's more fresh and edgy looking. In addition to that, you've provided me with some inspirational imagery, including a suggested bottle design, logos and some inspiring images. Can I just check that I've covered off on all the information that you've provided me with, or is there anything that I've missed?
No, you've covered everything.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'll just move on now to some information that might help you understand information relating to copyright. So ultimately what you need to be aware of is that you want to try and protect the copyright of others whilst also protecting the copyright of your own business. So in that respect, there's numerous litigation that will assist us with this. The top two listed there, the Copyright Act of 1968 and the Copyright Regulations of 1969 are the Australian litigation specific. And the balance of the articles listed there are international trade agreements in relation to copyright that will also help us. So just moving on, in terms of protecting the copyright of others, this is some information that will help us. You don't want to reference too much information of others in your work, otherwise that would be constituting a breach of copyright. So in addition to that, if you are going to use work of others, then you need to attribute them as contributors to the work. You can assess if the terms of fair dealing apply to the work that we're going to create. You can seek permission from the copyright owner and perhaps negotiate a license to use their work. And also, it's always recommended that you'd seek some professional legal advice in relation to these matters. So consequences of copyright infringement, there might be some things that come to pass in terms of you might be issued with a letter of demand requesting the material to be taken down. Similarly, you might be issued with a court injunction requesting for the material to be taken down. You might be requested for a public apology, to pay damages. There may be reputational consequences for you to be aware of, and also a loss of profit for your business. So there's quite a few things that you need to take into consideration. In terms of protecting your own business against copyright infringement, I've just listed out a few things here. It's best practice to produce original designs where possible and not depend on other people's work. Capturing the ideas in a fixed state is helping to protect your copyright, because if it's not fixed state, then it won't be covered by copyright legislation. Adding a copyright notice to all your work is always highly recommended. Publishing the terms and conditions on your website and in printed materials will also help to make other people aware of your copyright. Seeking support from the Australian Copyright Council, Arts Council and Attorney General's Department is recommended. And also commit to continually educating yourself and your colleagues in relation to copyright matters is highly recommended. So these are a few items that I would suggest implementing into your workflows. Negotiate fairly with copyright owners and get all agreements in writing. Once the agreement has been established, it's recommended that you wouldn't breach the terms of agreement, or you would renegotiate if further terms are required. You want to respect the copyright of others at all times and do the right thing. Publish all your terms and conditions and provide contact details in your terms and conditions in case people have further inquiries. put copyright notices on all your work, commit to continual education and share your knowledge with your work colleagues, and seek professional legal advice at all opportunities. Have you any questions in relation to this information that I've provided you with?
I was just wondering your thoughts about my inspiration package, and I was just wondering if you could give me some feedback.
Yeah, okay, I'll just go back to that slide. So the first thing that struck me about the information that you provided me with was that there was no attribution to the where the source material came from, and that's always highly recommended, even in the context of just providing it as a starting point inspiration. If I wanted to proceed to develop any ideas using this, I need to know where the information has come from, so I can seek some license from the original copyright owners to use it. Even if it was a case, if I was taking this image on the bottom right hand corner, if I was going to develop that further or use that information anyway, I need to make sure that it's not a substantial amount of the image. If I do want to use a substantial amount of the image in the work that I produce, I definitely need to contact the copyright owner to seek their permission or to negotiate some terms with them to use that information. So I definitely need to find out the source of these imagery to progress the design work.
Okay. And just one other question. I was just wondering if you could tell me about any exceptions to the copyright rules.
Okay, so copyright is applicable to any piece of work for the lifetime of the copyright owner plus 70 years. So, for example, I would have to do my research in relation to the Gatorade logo and find out if the copyright is still valid. If it is public domain now, if the copyright has expired, then I can potentially use that in my work without needing to seek permission. Further, some countries aren't covered by the international treaties, so the likes of Cuba aren't covered off on the international treaties. I could use some of the work from that country in my design without needing to seek permission. Further, the terms of fair trading state that if you're using information for the purpose of research, education, critical review, reporting the news or satire, then there's no need to seek permission to use the copyright, that you're within your rights to use that for that purpose. It's more relevant that you need to seek permission if you're using it for commercial purposes and you're going to make money out of it. Then you need to respect the copyright of the original owner and seek their permission to use it.
It's very helpful. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Michael.